I feel so confident thanks to Weight Loss by Hers. I'm down to my goal weight. My friends and family are all noticing my
Okay.
We are the Skaggs family, Matthew and Cosette, and we are owners of Jellyfish Lighting.
We're good? Rob, you guys good? You guys good? Well, good morning. I want to get this going. Short presentation. I know you want to get back out in the cold and enjoy the weather out there. Kind of extenuating circumstances today, but I just thought it'd be important to keep on proceeding as normal as possible and have this presentation. We have probably a couple hundred people that are right now listening in, and I'd like to extend special thanks to Rob McWhorter and Nathan and Mark White, who's videotaping this, and just appreciate you all being here and making this go. You know, this will be videotaped, and people that don't watch it will be able to look at it later, and we'll make sure that we have the complete set of all assemblies on sale at Netflix that they can look at. And if you buy now before midnight, you can get a special edition of Best of Assembly that they only seem to garner about 2 or 3 minutes out of that, but I lied twice. We're not going to do that. Sell that, and they couldn't even find 2 to 3 minutes in the previous talk. So thank you so much for coming today. and we'll give this a go if we can. So this was actually a slide in my presentation, and I thought I'd bump it up to the top. And we are dealing with weather right now. We expected, and no matter how much we plan to try to get it right, now guess what the weather situation will be, it's just hard to do, okay? And I got a couple questions, because last night we put out an announcement that said we're going to be open in the morning. Well, then Chief gave me a call and said, hold everything. They moved the forecast from starting about 10 o'clock to about 7 o'clock, where the weather comes in at Commerce. So we had to rearrange everything and put out the announcement today at 6, indicating that campus, and watch my terminology here, we are not using the word closed anymore, because our campus honestly never closes. We have students here, we have safety and security, and all those type of things. We're kind of calling it a modified business operation, okay? Where we have essential and non-essential personnel. And we'll get into that a little bit more if we have another event. But we have people that are here on campus. We're not closed. Instruction's going online. Fortunately, we don't have students here yet. Well, all those students are moving in. And we'll be able to accommodate them. So again, thank you for all that. The lucky draw, which is traditionally right after this event in the spring assembly, will be postponed given the circumstances, and we'll hold that on Friday the 17th, and you'll see it's going to run kind of the same way it always is run, from 1 to 3 on the 17th, and we'll be able to enjoy the company, raffle things away and so forth, and notify winners of the raffles sometime by the end of January. And just as a reminder, Rhonda, we'll make sure Rhonda sends that information out in 1 or 2 correspondence emails to the campus early next week. Okay? So, let's get into it. So, we had a busy summer, and I never really had a chance to address campus about this whole rebranding, name change, and so forth, although we did it in open forums and those type of things. But I guess since the name change was actually complete and approved by the Board of Regents, and we did end up on the name of East Texas A&M University. All along we were looking for a name that acknowledged the past, moved us to the future, and really did a good job as a good description of us simultaneously serving the rural and urban needs of East Texas. And there were a number of names that were being considered. We ended up here, and I think we ended up in a good spot. And we have been awful busy, because when you walk into this, you think, boy, there's going to be somebody pretty straightforward, changing the name, changing signs, and so forth. It's been a lot of work, and there's been a lot of work that's been done on this. And part of that is coming up with new logos that are approved logos for use in apparel and stationery and letterhead and business cards and so forth. So very happy. There seems to be contentment in alumni and across campus in most part that with the name change, and really excited to resurrect the past, acknowledge the past, but move us forward as a university collectively. A couple notes though. One of the issues, not a major issue, but one of the issues with our previous name was name recognition. And what we don't want to do is go to a new name and abuse the brand. Use the brand to our own advantage. Use the brand the way we see fit. We do have branding guidelines, brand guidelines that we're going to be sticklers on for us to follow, the campus to follow. And those brand guidelines can be found online, and we're going to stick to them. This is a big one. Use approved university logos. The previous page I showed you are a subset of the logos that have been approved for use. We're going to stick and be sticklers on that also, with appropriate logo use on apparel, websites, and so forth. Get the university's name right, okay? East Texas A&M University. Report brand use and update your email signature. which a lot of people have done that already. It's important when we put communications out that they understand and acknowledge and understand who you are. So this is going to be a big deal, and you're going to hear more about this, and you're going to hear when we have purchase orders and other things that are ordering things, there will be a check to make sure that we're following our brand guidelines across the board and things that we order and when we need to use the university's name. Going back to the busyness and the business of hand at trying to do everything we can to help us rebrand our university, we found out it was a bit more complex than we thought it would be. Not only from physical assets, signage and those type of things, but also from digital and kind of soft assets in terms of the website, email, and so forth. And we felt it was a complex enough operation that we needed to hire a project manager to help the university work through this. And so this is a lot of gobbledygook probably to you right now, and I'm not, I just want to let you know and show you that there's a lot of work that's been done, a lot of work that still has to happen. Right now, we're at about 548 tasks that some have been completed, a lot more need to get done, okay? And it's spread across all the various divisions across the university, and we're holding people's feet to the fire to get those items done. And you're going to see more and more changes across campus. The signage on the arts building, theater arts building, and you're going to see more and more seals and everything that's part of this process of moving and transitioning the university. We are going to have kind of an unveiling, AET kind of event on the 17th. The chancellor is pushing that. He wants to be here. He wants, Regent Mahomes, Chairman Mahomes is planning on being here. We plan on going out to the 2 cement pillars, I guess, pillars is the right word, pillars at the entrance by the Welcome Center. Those will be modified to say East Texas A&M University and will be unveiled at that time. More information on that to come. So again, part of the process. Again, assets changed over and so forth. There was a lot of discussion about why are we spending money on this? We could be using this money for scholarships and so forth. And what about the system? What is the system doing to help us out? Well, the system put up $500,000 to help us work through these changes. And there were a lot of changes, a lot of things, a lot of action, a lot of activity that didn't incur additional cost to the university. I'll give you one example. Michael Johnson over in Marcom has a budget already and always has a budget annually to advertise and market the university and so forth. That budget was still in place, always been in place. We're just asking Michael to tweak it, okay? And now replace the A&M Commerce with ET. No additional cost, no additional budget needed for that. The same thing with Jeremy Gomez over in IT. He's working hard at trying to change the domain name. That probably has some costs associated with it, but not as much cost as signage and so forth. So as we work through our assets, we have many, many spreadsheets of what we're trying to do. We keep track of things that we've accomplished and keep track of things that are still yet to be done. So we are taking this very seriously. We have a plan. I can't stand here and tell you when you're going to see everything transitioned over to ET. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I think we're targeting at least by summertime it all will be. Is that a fair assessment, Tina? About that time? So we're working hard and have the foot to the pedal trying to make this happen. Part of this branding too is we have, as you probably know, because you go to food establishments on campus, that we have established a new relationship and partnership beverage contract with Coca-Cola. And when you go on social media, my wife monitors social media for me, the student body is excited about this. But it just speaks of, besides ET, another partnership branding opportunity for the university. And I won't let the cat out of the bag, but Jim Curry is going to give a I think, a talk or give some kind of event on Monday about another partnership that we have with a prestigious company that will also continue to move the university forward. People want to play with us. They see the good things that you all are doing out there, enrollment growth, proximity, aggressiveness, innovation, and so forth, and want to be partners with us. And it's becoming increasingly obvious that that is indeed the case. Coca-Cola being one of them, what Jim Curry's going to roll out on Monday being another one of those. Investing in us, I always have to say this, I always have to give investing in us some time here, because it is so central to one of the pillars, one of the goals of our strategic plan in terms of professional development of folks, and it's been a successful program. Thanks to Carrie Klipchek, who's been working that very hard, coming up with new courses, and doing just an outstanding job on this. And again, it's been successful, and I encourage all of you that have taken classes, please continue to do that. Those that haven't, maybe dip your toe in the water and see if that's an opportunity from one of these slate of classes that we're going to be offering in the spring. So please take a good look at that. New faces and positions. Okay, always like to do this. We have a new dean of business, Dr. Nancy Albers, who comes to us from University of South Carolina, Aiken. I think she starts March 15th at the university. Very excited about having her. Did a national exhaustive search. Congratulate Provost Vakahasi for coordinating that search. I think we landed a good one, and very happy about that. Another person, Dr. Brian Rank, who is the new dean of our College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. And I thought I saw Brian here today. You're not going to get a rousing applause because there are not a lot of people here, but Brian, could you stand up and just wave to the people over there? Oh, you did. You did. Brian comes to us from Arkansas Tech, if I believe, and I had a chance to meet with Brian earlier this week, and it was a very productive talk. We're on the same page on how we not only move the university forward, but move the College of Ag forward. He has a lot of great ideas and is willing to take an aggressive, innovative approach at really taking advantage of leveraging the fact that we're the only ag college within 2.5, 3 hours of here. We should be wearing that on our sleeve and moving the university and moving that college forward and taking advantage of opportunities that affords us. So welcome, Brian. It's good to have you here. Dr. April Sanders, I don't think April's here, is she? No, she's busy working. But she's been with us for a while from curriculum and instruction and so forth, and was actually interim Dean of College of Innovation Design. After a national search, she got the position. April's great. Dr. Sanders is going to do some great things and advance a lot of CID, College of Innovation Design things, particularly at the graduate level, and new programming and so forth. So very excited about having April here. The timing was not all that great with announcing the fact, and this is kind of old news, but we have a new chief of staff, or I guess my office has a new chief of staff, Nicole Askew, who before this position was working with Abby Harper and university partnerships and doing a great job there. She is a perfect fit for what we're trying to do in our office and at the university. And I don't think Nicole's here because she's probably shoveling the driveway in Frisco somewhere. So Nicole is a great addition to the team. The jury's not out anymore. She's just doing a great job for our leadership team across the university. And if you interact with her, you'll find out what a special and talented person she is. So points of distinction. And I always have to start off with this, and this is a little bit old news too, but we do have a new Regents professor, Dr. Brian Zader, and you've seen it advertised and so forth, but what a great choice. What a great choice to represent our university and go down to College Station, and he'll match person to person the talent level and the prestige of anyone else, any other system school will put up. again when they're being recognized. Brian is a great ambassador of a university. If you saw that video that was cut and made of him talking about the award, you could see that interaction he had with the students. And what a special person and what a treasure we have in Brian Zader, and what a great honor to acknowledge and recognize that. I didn't see Brian here, but Brian, if you're out there, congratulations yet again. Okay, Meritorious Awards. Not everyone is here. I think this is one of the reasons why people were like, no, we got to have class. We got to have school today because I want to be there, okay? What we're going to do is, there's a financial award for this. There's probably pictures and so forth. We'll just schedule that later. We told the event winners or the awardees that they didn't need to be here today. So here we go. So we had a crack evaluation team that was putting this together. And here are our individual awards. Ready? Paige Bustle, Registrar's Office. Paige does a great job. Jonathan Johnston, Campus Recreation. There you go. Nicole Jones, Curriculum and Instruction. Another great one. Sarah Northam, Library. And then Howard Pearson, Financial Services. Boy, what a great slate of people that we have representing these awards. Congratulations to all these folks. We'll get the award money to you. We'll get pictures taken and so forth and make a big deal out of it, okay? Because it is a big deal. We go to the next award, which is the kind of the contractor award. Red River wins that, hands down. And Ross Moore, I don't know if is Ross here? Ross, can you just stand up? I don't know, I can't even see who you have with you, but Ross is the guy. Ross, congratulations. Congratulations. We'll get pictures with you sometime in the future. I hope we get more of your team and folks to participate in something like that. But thank you so much, everything you do for our campus and the university. And then the last one is the team award. And we had some great teams that applied for this. And the award-winning team is a big team, okay? And this is the Solar Eclipse Committee. I think 20 individuals on this committee. I gotta be honest with you, the eclipse, the actual event of the eclipse was really cool, okay? But these guys made it special for our faculty, staff, and especially our students. And so they worked hard. I know they worked hard on this and are well deserving of this award. So thank you everyone on this list. Michael, I see you on there. Congratulations and well deserved. So great job, okay? Accreditation. So you've seen this slide, I guess for a couple assemblies right now, that we kept on saying, okay, here's where we are right now. Here's where we are right now to have SAC-COC reaccredit our university, reaffirm our university, and acknowledge, and with this affirmation, acknowledge the academic excellence, the student support services, the policies, procedures, and processes in place to advance the university. And we just found out about a month ago that we actually were reaffirmed. That is a big deal. Allison Soder, Ricky Dobbs, I don't know if those guys are here. Believe me, it was a big, not just Allison and Ricky, there were a lot of people that played a role in this. But those two kind of herded the cats and got us going. And I guess, Tammy, is for the full 10-year accreditation, which speaks volumes, too, of who we are as a university and how respected we are in the circles of our accrediting body. So thank you so much. And I know academic affairs and institutional research played such a big role in that, but the entire campus did. So congratulations on that. This is just a bit of a side note, but when something like this comes across my desk, I got to put this in there, okay? We had two graduates from our CBE program, Freeman Martin and Nim Kidd. And both of those individuals, Freeman was just assigned, assigned the leader of the Texas Department of Public Safety, and NIM was re-upped again for the Texas Division in Emergency Management. And when you watch the governor or anyone else dealing with things like we're dealing with today, or fires or whatever that is, you always see NIM, and you're going to see also Freeman sitting next to the governor and his staff, because just the important role they play. And those are graduates of our programs. And I can't tell you how proud it is. We often talk about, we're so proud of our students and so forth, but sometimes I really feel like the true measure is what are our alums doing? What kind of success stories do we have with our alums? And so Freeman and NIM, congratulations, and congratulations to you all also. I kept this slide in here because I think it's important, but it's a little bit dated, okay? I'm still waiting on Dan Sue to help me out with the new rankings. This is kind of 24 rankings of the 378 of these national universities that acknowledge who we are and compare us to our peers, but also all the other universities and colleges in the nation. I kind of kept this in as a bookmark. When we come back in fall, when this is updated, we'll give you the new information. But the way Carnegie, U.S. News and World Reports does this is they have we're going to give you new information here. We're not ready to do it here. It's a little bit haphazard. And what we do have is best online programs has been assessed and has been, presented and published for 2025. And all these programs that you can see, I hope you can read those. I know Judy doesn't like when I say that, but these are all online programs. Best online criminal justice programs, best online BS programs, best online graduate business programs, MBA programs, Masters in Education program. All these have gone up in the rankings. We do online education very well, but we also do online education as a hybrid in a shell of classes. So again, another kudo to our universities and the faculty and staff from these programs. This is great for our reputation. This is great and really does send a signal that A&M Commerce. Can you believe that? I thought I was going to get through without saying A&M Commerce. ET is a university on the move and delivering great programming and educational opportunities for our students. I had to bring this up. You know, we've been working so hard at trying to advance research. And in our strategic plan and the discussions here and discussions across campus, we've had a lot of talk about this whole R2 designation, okay? And that's hard sledding. That is hard for a university to achieve that because it's based primarily on two things. One, the amount of research money you bring in and spend, and the number of research PhDs that you graduate. The amount of research money you bring in and spend cannot happen without this team right here, okay? And Brent Donham and his team, Brent is, of course, the VP for Research and Economic Development. Brent's probably tired of me saying, where are we, Brent? Where are we? How are we doing? What are we doing? What do we need to do? And I think Carnegie is probably going to come out with some kind of announcement in February. And what's interesting is that there's some chatter out there about, hey, Rudin's been here 6 years. Where the heck is our R2 designation? He's been talking about that forever. Carnegie does that every 3 years. We were not ready for the first 3 years to move up from where we are right now to an R2 designation. But we have met every goal, every item that we need to meet as part of an R2. Now it's in the hands of Carnegie to decide whether we merit going up to an R2 designation. But we have met and actually exceeded the threshold for research expenditures, and we've always exceeded the threshold for number of research PhDs. So you look up and down this list of people like Kaylee and Donna and Glenda and Lucy and Stephanie, and I kept Stephanie in there because even though she reports to the financial, she's a post-award person. All these other folks are pre-award, get your proposal out the door, and make sure you're in compliance. Stephanie works through Tina's shop in the post-award position. but she's still part of the family. She's still part of the research family here, and I wanted to include her. This is such a specialized field. And if you remember, I came here as a VP for research. And these people have a skill set that is hard to find. And I had talented people back where I was, and I can tell you now, these are extremely talented people who we have right now that are fundamentally and play an important role in us not only to get to R2, but maintain a level of R2 research. So Brent, please extend my thanks to the team, and thank you for everything you're doing. Great team there. Okay, upcoming legislative session. We're going to be entering the session. I think the session opens next week. We have work to do until it closes, probably sometime in May, I'm guessing. And here's going to be here's a list of our priorities. Formula funding, funding the growth is always number one. It'll be number one in the system. When the chancellor goes and talks to the legislators, it'll be fund the growth of formula funding. When I go talk to legislators, it'll primarily be pay and fund the growth for formula funding. We need that. But another piece will be, a couple years ago, I guess 2 bienniums ago, but really in earnest last biennium, legislature came up with this whole idea of comprehensive regional university funding. And what that does is that's the funding that allows us to hire people to provide the wraparound services for our students, whether that's on the second floor of the library, the advisors and the life coaches and everyone else that Tammy has working hard to provide these wraparound services to our students. That is such incredibly important money to our university, and we are actually going to go back and work with the system to see if they can up that even more. There are schools like College Station and Austin that probably don't need that money. There are regional universities that really need that money. And so we're going to continue to push and advocate, and we have a great proponent in Jenny Jones, Vice Chancellor for Government Relations at the system, that played an integral role at getting this money last biennium for the regional universities. Healthcare costs, the Hazelwood Legacy Program for our veterans and our veterans' family, student financial aid, and then the higher education higher education fund. This is the HEAF money that funds our facilities and things that we do to keep essentially our campus operational in situations like this, for example. But allows us to buy computers and other things, and that's up for consideration. And hopefully, we're working hard at trying to get a bigger piece of that pie for our university, because it's desperately needed for our university. That'll be another priority for us. Continued, we're given the opportunity to come up with an exceptional item. The exceptional item that we had last biennium, and now this biennium will be our competency-based education expansion for new programs. And I'll let you in a little bit. I'm really interested in how do we create a national center for competency-based education headquartered at our Dallas site. That's where that's where CBE is headquartered now. We are national experts, nationally recognized in CBE. We should leverage that, flaunt that, and do whatever we can to advance that. No, not too many schools, if any, can touch us in this area. There's a window, that window's shortening because other schools are starting to say, hey, what's going on over at ET, okay? We need these resources to expand that and continue to offer the fine programming we have that graduates and creates opportunities, flexible, affordable opportunities for a lot of adult learners and other people like Freeman and MKID to advance their careers. And then we have 2 capital projects, and these are actually called Capital Construction Assistant projects to finish off the second half of our ag facility. That, if you remember, we got a CCAP last legislative session, or was that 2 ago? Yeah. And every university that submitted a CCAP got a haircut, and we're going back and saying we want the other half of that money. So I think that you'll see the construction going on right now south on 24, south of CVS. We want the rest of that money to start finishing off that particular project. And then the Ted and Donna Lyon Center for Game Bird Research to help us with capital money to finish off that particular project. So a busy legislative session coming up for us, an important one, and especially in terms of formula, some of these other items and exceptional requests. We have a lot of work to do between now and May to make that happen. Notes on our budget, okay? Everyone wants to think we're flush with money. Tina is just printing the money off in her office. Mark's just hoarding the money. That's definitely not the case, okay? Remember, we're in a situation right now where we have not, and this coming fall, it'll be 4 straight years of no tuition and fee increases, okay? That hurts, okay? And it hurts a lot because that's permanent money to our university. So, and the Board of Regents have given every indication that, I don't know where we sit on, are we going to approve requests for additional tuition and fee increases? It's going to be kind of a tough get and a tough sales job to try to get additional tuition and fees increases at the schools, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try. But we'll see where that takes us. We are planning on setting aside additional money for scholarships. We're going to do everything we possibly can for faculty and staff retention plan. That means merit and additional money for promotions for faculty. We got to find the money first. We're going to look at every option that's going to be on the table. You'll hear more and more about this, but that additional or that lack of tuition increase is impacting certain things, and that's one of them. But I'm still committed, we're still committed to find a way to recognize financially the contributions of our faculty and the staff at our campus. Deferred maintenance and planned maintenance, and then the HEAF allocations. We need additional money, we need additional resources at our university. Enrollment, this is the 12-year enrollment trend at our university. And looks like a little bit of a roller coaster. I came here in 2018, still trying to find out where the bathrooms are and so forth, but we experienced a drop in enrollment, but you can see it's picked back up again. You can see that we have one of the highest enrollments now at our university in fall 24. We expect, I better be careful here, I don't want Michelle to get mad at me. We hope we can at least at a minimum maintain that headcount level, okay? But you understand, people say, oh, look at the enrollment growth, where's all the money? And this is what I was trying to point out to you before. We're getting about the same amount of money here as we're getting here. Tina and her group, again, I joked about it before, we're using bubble gum and paper clips to keep the budget together until we recovered in enrollment. Don't think there was a new flush, the coffers are flush now because of this enrollment growth. They're not. It's better, but it's not. But we're also sort of fighting a separate issue, and that is graduate enrollment. You can see that our undergraduate, the yellow bar, is doing really well. A lot of first-time students coming to our university, transfer students, dual credit, combination. Our undergraduate numbers are starting to approach 10,000. Okay? What we're not doing so good is graduate education, graduate numbers, okay? And I think there's a lot of different reasons for that. There's tremendous competition in our region, in our area. There are some schools that have put together financial models that we also have, but the competition is incredibly important, incredibly tough out there, okay? And I have to be honest with you. We've lost several hundred headcount and student credit hours in graduate education, okay, over the last several years, and especially since the last biennium. And if you know anything about our formula funding, the graduate student credit hour carries tremendously a lot more weight than an undergraduate credit hour. So if we lose graduate but increase undergraduate, it's almost a 4-to-1 type of thing, okay? That's a very rough estimate. But if you lose 1 student credit hour at the graduate level, you got to find out 4 student credit hours at the undergraduate level to make up for it. So when we found or listened or saw our initial budget for the next biennium back in November, we were like, uh-oh, that reduction in graduate level is hurting us, okay? And I want to say something, be crystal clear about that. I feel like that falls totally at my feet, okay? We had a lot of push, a lot of energy, a lot of emphasis from the board on grow the headcount, grow enrollment, okay? But the moneymaker is weighted student credit hours. That's the moneymaker. And I feel like I took my eye off of the ball in trying to respond to the headcount dilemma, okay? That will not happen again. That will not happen again, okay? There's a term called lovingly intrusive. I'm going to be lovingly intrusive with our weighted student credit hours for graduate education from this point forward. We're going to hit this hard. And I will say this, back in November 1st, when we realized, uh-oh, we're down a little bit in terms of money. And I know it's kind of taboo to say this in higher ed, but I'm going to say it anyway. Our executive team and our dean's council, the deans, banded together and have done so far a great job in recovering a lot of those headcount and particularly weighted student credit hours through winter mini and scheduling, through the spring semester and so forth. They have stepped up and done a great job, okay? And so I applaud them for their efforts. We still have more work to do. We'll get through this 20th day when our numbers occur, and then we're going to say, you know what, 21st day, what are we doing for the fall? And we're going to stick on it. But so special thanks to the executive team, special thanks to Dean's Council for stepping up and doing a great job here. Athletics, this is my only athletic slide. But we, as you probably know, we made this transition from Division II to Division I. And right now we're in the probation period of doing that. Okay? But part of that process is putting a team together, putting a committee together, and doing a kind of a self-study and submitting that to the NCAA. And it's hard, through this 4 or 5 year probation period we're in, it's time to do that. And I think the report is probably due in April. Brent, is that right? I'm looking at you, because look who the chair is, okay? And what's interesting about this, I want to make a couple points. What's interesting about this is that the NCAA doesn't want Jim Curry to sit down with them and say, hey, let me tell you what we're doing. You've heard all along, and kind of a cute message here, that our athletics is going D1, but so is our university. We need a D1 accounting department. We need a D1 financial services area. Everything has to be D1, and that's reflected here. Okay? They want to know, is the university, not just athletics, is the university committed to D1? Are the scholarships and the support services and the academic support dedicated to help our students, okay, accomplish these goals? And therefore, you see the makeup of this committee, and for some reason, I'm on it because I have to be on it. But you can see really the other folks that are on this committee, and that's number one. They are going to play an important role and develop this kind of self-study report. Much in the same way as our accreditation efforts, I need you to help make this a priority. If they come to you and say, I need this, I need that for the self-study, please make that I don't say drop what you're doing, but make it a priority to give these folks the information, data, whatever it may be, they need to accomplish and get this self-study done. Great group. I wish you could meet Jordan Newsom. She's a women's basketball player of ours, just a delight to be around. And when you talk to her and meet her, you're like, what do we need to do? So she is just a great ambassador for our university. So again, anything you can do to help this group, because April is going to come here like that, right? And Brent knows that. So thanks, Brent, for your service on that. We had a strategic plan refresh. I wanted to bring this up. We now have an action and accountability team. And an action and accountability team will essentially own the strategic plan, the implementation of the strategic plan. Okay, and I'll get, the next slide explains that a little bit. I just wanted to get the names of the people in front of you. So if there's questions about the plan, how we're doing with the plan, how we're measuring the plan, this is the team doing it, not Mark Rudin. I'm going to try to implement the plan. Our VPs are going to try to implement the plan, but this is the group that is overseeing that, okay? Very important group, and this is what they have planned for the spring. So continue to meet and so forth, but they are the ones that are putting together the measurables to see if we're accomplishing what we set out in the plan, the metrics, and how we're measuring those metrics. And let's collect the data, and let's implement a feedback system, continuous improvement system, okay? And also, one thing the current plan is lacking is a set of core values, and this group is actively working on developing a draft list for the campus to consider. And who is it, fundamentally, who is it that we are? What are the core values we have that are important to us as an institution? And so these guys own this process and are going to continue to implement this process. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. In fact, I'm almost wrapping up here, believe it or not. I always, when I'm given my assemblies, I always like to focus on a goal or a vision or a mission or whatever that may be. I just want always to remember who we are as an institution. And sometimes we hear the bad stuff. Okay, we hear students did this, or we heard faculty did that, or we heard students do that. Okay, higher ed right now is wrestling with students, not just ET. When we call our peers, we find a lot of the same issues that we have, they have. Okay? So this whole idea of student ready, student success, wraparound services and so forth has never been so important as it is right now to help us transform the lives of the students, because they now have challenges that you and I probably never had, and even pre-COVID, a lot of it we haven't seen, mental health issues and so forth. We have to be ready. We have to bring our A game, not only to the spring 25 semester, but to every semester, and maybe even more importantly, every interaction we have with a student, whether it's advising, whether it's paying parking at the service window, whatever that, financial aid, whatever that is, we have to bring our A game to that and understand who our students are and provide those services and make them part of the university community. And so we'll get into more of this. And I know that Tammy, Provost Vakahasi, is going to continue with the deans to hit this whole idea of student-ready university. Let me just say this, because sometimes this drives me nuts. Student-ready university doesn't mean, hey, Jay, pass everyone so we can get them out of here. That's not what I'm saying. Never said that. It has nothing to do with that. What it is saying, Jay, is to better understand your students and how do we transform their lives to move them forward. That's what it's saying. And everyone, whether it's Jay in business, whether it's Chief Vaughn in UPD, financial services, whatever that is, you all own that responsibility. Okay? Why? I got to change this now. What do you do when someone asks you at East Texas A&M University, what do you do there? We transform lives. And it's always important to remember that this says we transform lives. We're committed to transforming lives. It doesn't say we transform lives when it's easy. It doesn't say we transform lives when it's convenient for me. Okay? Every opportunity, every interaction we have with our students in the classroom, outside the classroom, we have to keep this front and center in our mind. And I've said this before to you all, and I've said it to everyone, faculty, staff. The thing that makes me so proud about being part of this university is that when I look at other universities and I look at us, I don't see anyone being able to do that better than us. I really don't. You all have the skills, the commitment. It's in your DNA, whether you acknowledge it or not. From my perch, that's where I'm at. No one's more uniquely qualified to do that than you all. So let's do it. Let's bring your A game. We've got a big semester coming up, an important semester coming up at our university. Let's bring our A game and transform lives. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for making it out today. Hopefully we'll wrap up here, and if you need to get home, you can get home. But I appreciate it, and thanks for everything you do. And go Lions. Thank you.